Operation Impact is motivational.
Operation Impact is exciting.
Encouraging and challenging.
Operation Impact is worth it because even though sometimes it might be hard, God always comes through.
Operation Impact is busy.
Operation Impact is growth.
Operation Impact is humbling.
Operation Impact brings growth.
A word that I use to describe Operation Impact is kind. Like the people are kind. It's like the fellowship that you have around you. It's like a family. And it's like, I was really nervous if I'd be able to make good friends, but it's like you have a family all around you. It's not just friendship, but it's like a family.
So I thought I was going to be teaching the children something, but I realized that God was teaching me through it. It wasn't just for them, it was almost maybe even more for me to see that I needed to trust God. Being around people who love the Lord and seeing their heart for the Lord has really encouraged and inspired me to keep growing and to keep learning and walking with Him.
My favorite part was when we did while we played the games while we're reading the stories.
My favorite part was the Bible lesson.
So my favorite part was the Bible.
When I was at Bible Club yesterday, this little girl who was about 5 years old, who only spoke Spanish, came up to me after clubs. And she spoke really fast to me, and I was like, oh, I don't know what you're saying. So I went over to one of her siblings who was bilingual, and I asked her what she was saying. And her sister was like, oh, she wants you to stand on your hands. I was like, she wants me to what? And I was so confused, but then I realized that she wanted me to do gymnastics, which was so cool because I'm a gymnastics coach and I love doing things like that. So I was able to talk with her and play with her for a while, and eventually we were able to bond together even though we didn't share languages. For the next 30 minutes, she was dragging me around by my hand all around the area where we were doing our Bible club and playing tag and games with me. And it was just so cool to see how God was able to work through that moment.
So we were doing this Bible verse, and there's an ice cream truck coming through as I was holding the verse. And so the kids were kind of staring off at the ice cream truck that was going through. And so that was kind of distracting for the kids. So that goes away. And then a little bit later, this guy comes up walking his dog, and he's like, hey, there's an ice cream truck out front. If some of the kids want ice cream or whatever, like, we would love to, but we can't do that right now. So anyways, the guy kind of walks off, and we keep on teaching the Bible story, and he comes back with a bag of ice cream for all the kids there, and he said he really appreciated what we were doing, teaching the kids about Jesus and how much he loves them. But so he said he really appreciated that. And so after our stories, we got to enjoy ice cream with the kids, and that was one way God made a distraction something really cool that we got to enjoy.
My favorite part is when we learn about how God saved us and how He made the world and stuff.
My favorite part is when Andrew started to believe in God and started to become a missionary.
Before Bible Club, we were looking at the weather, and it said that it was going to rain. So we all got together. We were praying for the weather, that God would hold back the rain, and He did during the Bible clubs. And I think it was a blessing that there was the rain clouds over us, although it didn't rain, because it was nice and cool, and it was a really good temperature for Bible club to take place. During canvassing, we didn't meet a lot of kids. It didn't look very inviting, but God sent 8 really ready kids that were really receptive, and they listened to the Bible stories really well. They engaged with the questions that we asked, and I think that God could really work in these kids' lives. They were all really excited when we gave them the summer challenge booklets, and some of them asked for Bibles, so we passed out some Bibles for them to have as well.
My favorite part was the verse and the story and playing with y'all.
My favorite part was about Nathan's story and playing with y'all.
My favorite part was the story and the songs that y'all sing and
So the first day I had the missionary story, and I didn't get as much practice as I would have liked to have. And even though that happened, I got there and I'd been praying to God because I was really nervous about it. So I got up there and everything just came to me like I had been practicing for months. So it was really amazing to see God giving me the words and to remember what I was supposed to do.
So this is my first year being a team leader this year, and one of the things that I was really nervous about was being a leader. I don't feel very qualified to do such a thing, but I just felt like the Lord put it on my heart that I was supposed to come. And there's a verse of scripture that says that not that we feel that we are competent in ourselves, but it is Christ who gives us our competence. And so I was trusting in Him to lead us through. And here last week we had a club where 2 kids had come back and given their hearts to the Lord. So it was just amazing to see how God works. Something that I learned here is the importance of relying on God and not on myself. I was turned into some dorms. This is for him to sleep. And they showed him around. They showed him some good parts of the country, but he was like,
It's raining right now. We're about to head to club, so we're just praying that God will be able to hold back the rain while we're at club.
I had the opportunity to talk to one of the girls at our club. She was asking a lot of good questions, and she told me that her dad had told her that there was a man who was looking up at the sky and he was walking on water, and then when he looked down he started to sink. And so I was able to tell her, I was like, yeah, that's a true story. And I didn't have my Bible, but she had hers, so I found it in her Bible and showed her where it was. I read her the story and then kind of explained it to her. And then she just started asking a lot of good questions, like how was the first man made? And then she said something about how God will forgive us for the bad things we do. And so I was able to share the gospel with her and tell her about God's love for us.
My favorite part about a Bible Club is the stories. Whenever you get snacks at the end. When we talk about the Lord.
So I feel like the Lord has picked me up from California and put me in Oklahoma, kind of like He would a chess piece, to accomplish His purposes here with the summer missionaries as well as with the children and getting to go and do clubs. So it's really cool to see God's sovereignty and how He just knows who to place at what point in time and the location as well. One thing I feel like I saw the Lord did over Operation Impact this year is witnessing how young people coming from all across the nation to Operation Impact for the first time and never needing to trust the Lord in ways that they have to hear as they're stretched out of their comfort zone, and just like seeing how they really need to rely on the Lord, and then praying and asking that the Lord would help them, and then experiencing His help. So I think that's been really cool to see how the Lord is using Operation Impact to transform the lives of the young people as well.
Yesterday we got 7 kids that came to Bible Club, and so the day after, all of my team prayed that we would have at least 10 kids come to Bible Club that day. And God, instead of just giving us 10 kids, He doubled the number we had last time and gave us 18 kids that came the next day. And it was just so amazing to see God work in that way.
Operation Impact is a crucible in the sense that it is a really intense, really hot fire that really brings up your impurities, but the Lord scrapes those away, and you are more pure in your walk with the Lord going through that.
I came here thinking, I know a little bit about Jesus and what in the Bible and what he's done for us. And now I come here and I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm really not all that great. God's the only great person, and so that was just really humbling for me, knowing that I don't know everything that I thought I did.
It's been amazing, and I've enjoyed it a lot more than I have. Even though the days have felt really long, I've enjoyed every second of it.
I think Overcomers is a really good theme for this year because as we learned in the devotions that overcoming by the power of Jesus, and we really saw God's power work throughout the last couple days.
If you are planning to come to Operation Impact, be prepared to be surrounded by people that are crazy about God.
Well, guys, you have completed the mission. It has been many hours of work and discomfort and miles traveled, and you have done it. You've come and you've been part of the mission that God has here at this time. And so I encourage you to keep up the good work, to keep fighting, to keep moving forward. Realize that your labor is not in vain when you're serving the Lord, and don't give up. Don't be weary in well-doing, because in due season you will reap if you don't give up. Don't forget the lessons you've learned. Don't forget the testimony of what you've seen God do here. Bring it to mind, remind yourselves, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. And in the same way, you guys have been able to experience firsthand the power of the gospel in sharing the gospel with these kids and seeing the testimonies of God's faithfulness in their lives and being in discomfort and choosing to live above and beyond. You have changed eternity. Don't forget, rise above, live beyond, because you are overcomers.